Pemirsa, pihak kepolisian masih terus dalami keterlibatan pelaku lain dalam jaringan judi online negara Kamboja yang baru saja terbongkar. Petugas menyebut ada peran WNI yang berada di Kamboja pada jaringan ini.
Kata pemerintah, jumlah WNI yang kerja di sektor judi online Kamboja naik nih. Wah, kira-kira kenapa ya? Sebelumnya, Duta Besar RI untuk Kamboja ngaku kalau WNI yang kerja di sektor judi online di sana bertambah banyak. Dikarenakan judi online di sana legal. Nah, judi online yang menjerat warga Indonesia ternyata juga dikendalikan dari Kamboja loh. Bahkan, ada tempat khusus yang nampung pekerja judi online di Kamboja. Salah satunya bernama Kampong Dewa. Diketahui, Kampong Dewa merupakan entitas usaha yang terafiliasi dengan grup perusahaan Indonesia. Di sana, para pekerja Indonesia hilir mudik masuk dan keluar gedung. Isu meningkatnya jumlah WNI yang bekerja di sektor judi online ini jadi perhatian pemerintah. Pasalnya, para pekerja yang minim perlindungan itu rentan jadi korban perdagangan orang. Pemerintah terus berupaya agar masalah ini teratasi. Sejauh ini, ratusan korban TPPO sudah dipulangkan dari Kamboja. Wah, semoga nggak ada lagi ya korban TPPO lainnya.
Jadi pengangguran setamat sekolah membuat MRN, seorang pemuda Medan, Sumatera Utara berusia 24 tahun, nekat mencari kerja ke Kamboja. Lewat bantuan teman pamannya, MRN diterima sebagai pekerja di Kamboja. Pada Maret lalu, MRN terbang melalui Bandara Kuala Namu menuju Jakarta bersama sejumlah pekerja lain. Mereka terlebih dahulu singgah KBRI Kamboja lewat situs dan pelaporan online. Laporan itu pun telah diterima KBRI Kamboja. Namun hingga saat ini, MRN belum juga diselamatkan dari tempatnya disekap.
Kami nggak tahu seperti apa Pak, cuman dia kalau nelpon dia nangis. Bu, tolonglah Bu, jualkanlah rumah mama itu yang di Tembung. Kalau nggak bisa dijual digade. Cepatlah Bu, nggak kasihan kalian nengok aku di sini. Dia yang bilang disekap, dia yang bilang. Terus nelpon dia lagi kan, dia nggak bisa ditelepon Pak, cuman dia bisa nelpon, dia aja yang nelpon kami.
Keluarga berharap MRN dapat ditolong pemerintah Indonesia sehingga bisa pulang ke kampung halaman. Meski pupus harapan keluarga, MRN sebagai pekerja migran Indonesia tak lagi dapat membantu ekonomi keluarga.
Jadi, berdasarkan video tersebut, maka kelompok kami sepakat untuk membuat sebuah reka adegan mengenai kasus judi online yang terjadi di Kamboja, serta yang melibatkan salah satu warga negara di Indonesia. Semua pemeran serta adegan di video tersebut merupakan fiktif belaka. Jadi, selamat menyaksikan.
Rafael, a man who had just gone bankrupt, was walking on the busy city sidewalk. His life had suddenly fallen apart. The business he had been running collapsed, and now he was at his lowest point. Every day, Rafael tried with the hope of being able to feed his family. However, the harder he tried, the heavier the burden he felt. In the midst of his despair, Rafael saw something strange. A piece of paper was attached to one of the branches of a tree, with the following written on it. Rafael knew he had to be careful, but his desire to provide a better life for his family outweighed all doubts. Finally, he decided to contact the number on the paper. Rafael, who had made an agreement with an agent from Dimas Logan Agency, finally met the next day at a place they had agreed upon. After contacting a man named Dimas, Rafael felt that he had received a breath of fresh air from this job. During the discussion, Dimas informed Rafael about the facilities he would receive while in Cambodia. He was promised accommodation as well as other necessities before receiving his first salary. After that, he was asked to prepare 10 million rupiahs so that Dimas could take care of everything. The large amount required meant Rafael had to discuss with his wife in order to go to Cambodia for work. With his wife's final decision and using their last savings, Rafael finally agreed to the deal proposed by Dimas. Finally, Rafael agreed to pay, and the deal was made. Rafael appeared busy in his room, packing for his trip to Cambodia. Inside his bag, his clothes and work essentials were neatly arranged. Suddenly, his phone rang. He glanced at it, buzzing beside him as he was preparing, and saw Mr. Dimas' name displayed on the screen. Mr. Rafael answered the call as Mr. Dimas reached out to inform him that he was already waiting for him in Cambodia. Rafael was reminded that if the immigration officer asked what he was going to do, he should just say it's for a vacation, not for work. Rafael then set off to Cambodia with the hope of wealth ahead of him. Upon arriving at the airport in Cambodia, Rafael met Dimas, a man he had previously encountered in Indonesia. Dimas mentioned that he had prepared everything Rafael would need during his work in Cambodia. Then, Dimas requests Rafael's passport for administrative purpose. Rafael paused for a moment. On one hand, he felt that something was off. On the other hand, Dimas appeared convincing and professional. Reluctantly, he handed over his passport. He couldn't stop thinking about the promise of a high salary and a comfortable life that Dimas had assured him of. Dimas accepted the passport with a faint smile and escorted Rafael to the workplace. Upon arriving at the office as he mentioned, Mr. Rafael and Dimas were greeted by the sight of a modest, bustling workplace. Dimas quickly informed Mr. Rafael that he would soon be briefed by the staff from Dimas Law Care Agency. With a hint of hesitation, Mr. Rafael nodded in agreement to Dimas' words, deciding to follow along despite the uneasy feeling lingering in the back of his mind. With all the suspicions that Mr. Rafael had in mind, it turned out that everything was true. Mr. Rafael didn't become the office admin he had hoped for. but instead became an admin for a slot gambling site, something he never expected. With feelings of disappointment, Mr. Rafael finally decided to quit the job. With anger shimmering inside him, Mr. Rafael stormed toward Dimas' office to vent his frustration. The job Dimas had promised was far from what Mr. Rafael had expected, leaving him feeling safe and cornered. The tension finally boiled over, and what began as a verbal confrontation spiraled into physical conflict. Shouting turned to shoving, and the room became a chaotic battleground of pent-up anger and broken trust.
Apaan ini Pak? Kok saya malah jadi admin judi online?
Wah, santai Pak, Gimana Pak? Kenapa Pak?
Gak bisa seperti ini Pak, ini tidak sesuai dengan perjanjian yang dari awal Pak.
Bapak kan tetap jadi admin di sini Pak. Bapak pikirin loh tentang keluarga Bapak yang ada di Indonesia. Kan Bapak biar cepat kaya Pak.
Gak bisa seperti itu. Pokoknya saya ingin balik ke Indonesia.
Gak bisa, paspor Bapak masih ada di saya. Kalau Bapak mau balik, Bapak harus cari 10 orang pengganti untuk gantiin Bapak.
Makin ngaco kamu, balikin paspor saya.
Gak bisa.
Sorry.
Duh, gimana sih? Lihat-lihat dong.
Orang Indonesia.
Iya. Tolong saya Pak, saya ini.
The incident involving Mr. Rafael represents a case that has become increasingly prevalent today. According to data from the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, there are 17,121 Indonesian citizens actively registered in Cambodia. However, Cambodian authorities report that more than 70,000 Indonesian citizens hold residence permits in the country. The disparity highlights that many Indonesian citizens residing in Cambodia have yet to fulfill the routine procedure of reporting their presence to local authorities. Furthermore, the case affecting Mr. Rafael is one where he is undeniably the victim. At the initial stages of his engagement, Mr. Rafael was promised a position as an administrative staff member in a reputable company. However, upon arriving in Cambodia, the reality was starkly different. He was instead employed as an online gambling administrator. Based on Mr. Rafael's clarification, it was revealed that he had unknowingly committed an error under the directions of Dimas Law Care Agency. At the airport, when questioned by immigration authorities, he stated that he was traveling for leisure, which provided a loophole to bypass further scrutiny. Had Mr. Rafael disclosed his intention to work in Cambodia, immigration authorities could have conducted a more thorough investigation regarding his employment plans, especially given the rise in fraudulent overseas job offers promising unrealistic opportunities. Since Mr. Rafael traveled through legal means, equipped with complete travel documents like passport, and deported via an Indonesian airport, the Indonesian embassy in Phnom Penh was not required to undertake complex interventions, as he remains protected under Indonesian law and is recognized as a victim achieved by an online gambling syndicate in Cambodia. Appropriate legal protection can be extended. Fortuitously, Mr. Rafael encountered me, an Indonesian embassy staff member, which allowed me to provide a resolution to his predicament. On behalf of the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Cambodia, I I would like to convey the message that if any Indonesian citizen face difficulties in Cambodia, do not hesitate to contact us at the embassy. We are committed to finding the best solutions to ensure the safety and security of all Indonesians residing or migrating to Cambodia.
Untuk pesan saya semuanya, sebelum menerima informasi dari orang yang tidak dikenal, kita harus bisa lebih cari tahu terlebih dahulu dari mana asalnya, lalu kita juga harus memahami kebijakan-kebijakan migrasi internasional seperti itu. Terima kasih Bapak ya. Hati-hati di sana.